Today on the Dirt Bike Track, we learned that if you live by the occult, you die by the occult. But the benefits of living by the occult is that you can also be resurrected by said occult. So, when push comes to shove, maybe that pill of a chud Aleister Crowley was onto something. All this pill talk is making me, James, hungry.
I'm Nicole.
And this is Mostly Speaking Spider-Man. Like I said, my name is James, and to all you merchants out there, you're not giving me what I ask for. I ask for a box that will open a portal to hell that will send me chains, okay? Instead, it's people trying to rip me apart. I don't want that. I just want the chains so I can sell them to like these anime fucks, these nerds out there, these weebs who will put them all over their body and be like, hey, I look like Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I look like anyone from Final Fantasy VIII, okay? That's what I need. I don't need the whips, I just need the chains, and I don't need to be pulled apart in orgasmic pain. It doesn't make me go, it makes me go, okay? And speaking of things that make me go, it's, oh my God. Normally I feel okay with doing that, but I can't just start it out saying like, hey, my co-host makes me go, yeah. It's the woman who fights for a lonely boy, and I guess that's me. I'm the lonely boy, but in her presence, I'm never lonely. It's the bricks, the nickel, darlinghomebody.com. Nicole!
Hi.
How are you?
Concerned?
Why? About what?
All of it.
Well, I saw the puzzle box. That's why I was like, hey, I could do that intro. Is that what you were concerned? Like, oh, why has he got chains? That's what I was going off from.
I understood the reference.
So what are you concerned about?
You know what? Never mind. It's good.
No, let's
We're
do
fine.
it. Let's find your concerns,
yeah,
okay?
it definitely wasn't the moaning part.
Oh, well, why would you be concerned? That's healthy, okay? All right? I'm flushing it out, making sure.
On a podcast.
To make sure I'm not getting goddamn prostate cancer, you know? I have I'm pretty sure talking about Beyblade, like, done a mimicking.
I'm not talking about doing that off mic. I'm talking about doing that on mic.
I'm talking about Beyblade. I've done like, hey guys, this is truly what it sounds like when I have an orgasm. And then I do it. And then, those freaks out there are like, oh, A-B repeat. And then they're making the noise.
Yeah.
I wish they'd send it to me. Do that do a stitch on TikTok. Get some listeners in, because if people think this is smut, then maybe we'll get more listeners and more glisteners. Am I right? Yeah. I wish our guest had a web camera.
Why?
I mean, hey guys.
So then we could see if he's enjoying this, or if he's like, oh yeah, I'm phoned out right now.
Yeah.
I've loved every minute of this, every single second. Don't worry.
See, he's over there glistening about it.
Oh my God. Look, I'm sorry.
Guys,
I just wanted to keep it going.
I think it's been a year since our guest has graced the airwaves of Mostly Speaking Sentai. You know him as JustNickPeriod. You know him from the pilot episode of 98's The Limit. It's Nick Foster.
Hey everybody, how's it going? James, Nicole, thank you for having me. Brilliant intro there, James.
Thank you. And Nicole, she was a part of it.
Yes.
Hey.
Amazing chemistry between the both of you.
Oh yeah, it's as if we've been together for almost we're almost at Baker's Dozen's years?
How much is a baker's dozen?
No, we're at
different than a dozen?
A regular dozen.
Oh, we're at a regular dozen. Baker's dozen, aka the Jason's dozen, is 13.
Why isn't it? All right.
I think if like one of them is bad or like one drops on the floor,
I heard that it's like, oh, it's a one for me.
Okay, yeah, and then they're like, okay, yeah, I guess like to taste it to make sure that batch is good.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Nick, how have you been?
I've been all right, man. Just a lot of stuff, taking on some new projects artistically, professionally, definitely taking on new projects, and just kind of making it through,
Yeah,
just like
baby.
all of us. Thank you again for having me.
Oh, no.
It's nice to do this.
Thank you for always being available. It's a salute to you. A lot of stuff has happened. One, you were like, hey, you should check out this dude, have him come over, Mohawk Johnson. I was like, hey, I know about that guy. I've met him at the comic book store. And then I see you on Instagram, and I'm like, wait. Who's that in the background? It's Max Harms, who is also a subscriber at the comic book store.
Yeah, I mean, Mohawk has been a really great friend of mine lately. Honestly, I have had some kind of transitional stuff happen as far as me like moving and stuff, and just kind of through that whole, all the peaks and valleys of that, like Mohawk has been like really consistent, just generally good dude, you know? And we talk shop about arts, just our work and like what we're trying to do as creators, honestly. And like, I'm glad I could have made the connection with you guys. And, I guess it was just written in the stars. He's a good dude. And, Max, I actually met through a mutual friend, Laz, who I met when I was doing music for a show. And we all just kind of got together and, I wrote some stuff for Laz and we decided to film it. And Max is like a encyclopedia on film, big fan, lover of it. And, we're all kind of getting together and making this thing happen for us all in a way that I only really dreamed about before.
Hell yeah.
That's so
been great.
fucking cool.
It sounds like I need to get Max not on Mostly Speaking Sentai, not on Citizens of Townsville Z, but probably on a straight to Patreon or Engage with Nicolas Cage.
I'm sure he would love it. He has such an optimistic way of viewing things. It's like everything's very exciting for him. And I'd love to hear him talk to you about all of these movies that you watch, honestly.
Hell
I think
yeah.
he'd be a real kicker. Is that a term? A real kicker? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's a term. Everything's a term, I was recently talking to Sean, and I told him, hey, him and Torchyberry have been on a bunch of straight to Patreons, always like, in quotes, bad movies, and out of quote bad movies when we were doing that ill-begotten summer mockbusters series where we were just doing asylum movies. Boy, oh boy, besides Sharknado, they are boring. I apologize, Nick. I know you might have worked on some of them.
Only one, and I do extend that offer if you ever want to watch that. I could tell you a little bit about it when I was on it. So.
Well, I guess we're going to have to do one more Asylum movie. But
yeah,
we ended up doing this movie called House, which is a fantastic movie. And I told Sean, I guess we got to start doing, in quotes, good movies. And I pitched him Sailor Suit Machine Gun. And then he's like, we could still keep doing bad movies, though. And then he's like, but don't tell Pearl that. I was like, okay, I'm telling Pearl.
There's a lot of that I didn't have any context for, but I appreciate you telling me.
Yeah, I guess that was for Nicole. But I'm also saying, like, hey, guys, straight to Patreon might be doing good movies there.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Perfectly. I did like that movie, Pearl. It was great. Well, some people didn't think so.
Wait,
I
we're
thought
talking
so.
about our friend Pearl.
Yeah, Torchyberry Pearl. I guess I was also interchanging their aliases.
I thought you were talking about the movie Pearl.
Oh, no. I'm not doing Pearl. That wasn't straight to video. That is still the stipulation. It needs to be straight to streamer, straight to TV. Enough. It just can't have been in the movie theaters in the United States proper.
Fair enough. Very fair.
But if it's got one of those revivals, that's fine. Nicole,
James?
You got any updates, anything you want to talk about?
I feel like I haven't done a health update in a while.
Okay, go for it.
So I'll try to make it quick, I guess. But also, like, not really anything has happened.
Yeah.
So I'll do the too long didn't read version. And I'm going to just start over if people haven't been listening. And I've been doing it on, like, different podcasts, so it might be... Anyway.
The year's 2010.
The year is 2010. No. October, my back hurts. January, I quit my job and...
Because your back hurt.
Yeah, because my back hurts and my ribs hurt. And then I go see an orthopedic surgeon and get x-rays. And I'm told I have arthritis in my spine from a spinal fusion I got when I was 15. And then I got an MRI and then they were like, you might have spinal fluid leak and your thyroid looks weird. So you need to see a neurosurgeon and an ENT and a pain management specialist And so I've seen the neurosurgeon. They said you don't have spinal fluid leak. I don't know why they sent you here.
But happenstance, they were saying, hey, I got a guy you could go see for the other stuff.
That's what I'm about to say.
Sorry.
Thankfully, got a referral to pain management from that person. And then went there on Friday, April 11th.
You're dating the podcast record, Nicole.
No, I'm not.
It doesn't matter. No, it's other podcasts are worried about like you can't. It's got to be evergreen.
Okay.
It was a podcast joke about podcasting. Continue.
It was really funny.
Oh my God. Continue. All of this has been funny. Oh, your back hurts.
It's so funny how I've just been in constant pain, debilitating pain for 4 months for no fucking reason because our health system is absolute fucking garbage.
Best in the world, baby.
And so I'm getting injections in June 4th. And so I've had to deal with this for like 6 months. So that's fucking cool. And there's no guarantee that it will actually work. So we'll see what happens.
You left out
I said it was the too long didn't read version.
You left out one doctor that we went to. I mean, not really a doctor. He was a member of the FBI, and he said your ribs were like feeling that burn because you got your boobies are real hot.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like
he was a female body inspector.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He said, "Damn, dude, the boobies is hot. Of course your ribs are burning."
Yeah, super funny. Such a good joke.
Hey, I got an update. My wisdom tooth, I finally got that scheduled to be pulled out in February of 2026. Best in the world, baby. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, when you have a job that gives you insurance, you don't need for most operations, you don't, in quotes, need the insurance because you're like, well, yeah, I have a job to pay. But when you don't have a job to pay for these operations, you don't have insurance because it's tied to a job. It's like, I got the pill for you. It's called a fucking 45 slug into my brain.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it, guys. Mass suicide. Show those capitalist scum what happens when they don't have a workforce to back them up.
Yeah.
I like to see them all of a sudden make billions of dollars when there's no products being made because we've all drank the cyanide pill.
Yeah, and there's no one to consume it.
The only stock that went up was whoever makes cyanide. Oh yeah, we're back, baby.
Wow, put that on TikTok.
I can.
Bet you can.
Yeah. They'll flag me for
so many things.
Yeah. I guess terrorism. I don't know.
I mean, you just incited mass suicide, so there's something. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
They'd be like, he's the ring virus. Or not the ring virus. What was the one that is like you kill yourself? Truth or Dare? Was that it?
It's The Happening.
I mean, that's The Ring, yeah, but it was a movie.
Well, no, it was.
Was it a virus in the movie?
Oh, so not in the movie. Well, not in one of the chronological movies that was then retconned, but we don't include that number 2 where they introduced the virus. But in the book series, it is a virus.
Dude, there's a book series? Okay.
Yeah, it started as a book.
I didn't know that, man. I don't know.
Dude, you got to watch The Ring,
like
man.
Else.
I
watched The Ring.
The Japanese one, and then the sequel that is counted, and then the prequel, which is better than both of them.
All right. I mean, I'll check it out. J-horror is pretty intense. So.
It makes me go, ah!
I mean, it gets to me. They know how to do it, honestly.
Oh,
there
no.
were a couple just like Netflix movies where I was like, all right, this is a little much. All right.
No,
like chill.
It's just so creepy and scary. I'm like, nuh-uh. But speaking of J-horror, we were going to have Nicole's mom watch House, but there were subtitles and she was bagging and boarding comics, so she's like, I can't read this right now. So instead we watched Cry Baby. And it's a John Waters movie. I love it. Nicole loves it. Nicole's mom, debatable. So there's a scene where the main love interest, or I guess the main character besides Crybaby, she's crying into a mason jar and catching her tears. And then she starts like drinking it. And Nicole, do you remember exactly what your mom said?
No.
She said something along the lines of, this is just too weird and gross. And I go, that's wild that you said that, because I was literally thinking right now, it's amazing that movies can be made specifically for you. Because I was like, man, this is rad.
Yeah, that's a little much, and that's the thing, because that's like a special kind of weird. There's a lot of weird things you can do and a lot of gross things you can do, but that's one of those odd intersections where you wouldn't even think of that unless you're John Waters, of course.
Yeah. Like John Waters is the like risque Pee Wee Herman in my eyes.
That's a perfect way to describe him.
Yeah.
I have never heard a more perfect way to describe it.
Like, there's Pee-wee, like, Pee-wee's Playhouse just rules so hard. Nicole, have you turned around on it?
No.
Oh, damn. You got to watch that episode where he just feeds a dog to completion.
You don't say to completion about a dog.
He takes a dog bowl, puts a whole can of wet dog food in, and then they put it down, and it's just zoomed in. Quiet, nothing else is happening, and the dog just eats the entire bowl, and then they're like, yeah, that's how you feed a dog.
Yeah.
You just made it sound like it was like a Tom Green sketch or something like that. Like, that was very weird.
But, you know, the dog goes to completion, you know?
Yeah.
Name of the episode, Fed a Dog to Completion. Should we be naming these just what other fucking podcasts in this sphere do, which was just, instead of coming up with a quirky name, it's just like, this is the episode we discussed.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling you for years.
Well, we'll be doing that.
It's a little late now.
On Magical Meatball Girls, baby.
For the SEO, sir.
But speaking of the episode we discussed today we are discussing episode 37 of Spider-Man Toei Style, entitled The Secret Messenger from Hell, Great King Enma. Nick, what'd you think of this episode?
I thought it was awesome, except for the thing about Spider-Man is I understood when Power Rangers came to the end with like the Zords and stuff, but like I enjoy so much of Spider-Man without the Zord. It's almost kind of like a bummer. And I feel like when they make the show, they like him without the Zord too, because it definitely felt like they forgot that they only had so much time and they're like, all right, let's just get the Zord in there and like wrap this up.
As we've said on other episodes, there is a logistical reason for that. And that's because around, I think like episode 20 or something, someone stole the suit for the big Zord and they're just using stock footage, but to sell toys, they need to show that big old Marveler, and that's why they throw him in there.
That's even funnier. And that's funny that you said that, because watching this, I was constantly surprised by things that I feel like I probably brought up the last time we talked about Spider-Man. So I'm going to try my best not to say too much that I repeat myself.
Nicole, what were your initial thoughts on this one as we're coming to the end? Because this is wild, Nicole. This is like the 6th to the last episode of Spider-Man, and Nick Foster was on our 6th episode ever. And this will be like the final 6 episodes of this Mostly Speaking Sentai show.
Are you going to keep up the trend?
Of what? Having him on for the 6th episode of...
No, like the 5th to the last.
No, because I don't talk to Wes anymore, so I can't. And then like Dana and PJ, I can't get them to commit to something.
Yeah.
PJ loves canceling on me for Mostly Speaking Sentai. Anything else, he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, though. I could see PJ not being into this. He also canceled on Straight to Patreon, which I was going to surprise him with like, hey, let's do Cheetah Girls. But he never got that surprise, you know? That's on him. Oh, yeah.
Well, he knows now.
He's busy, though, doing improv and shit.
So my initial thoughts... I wish the king, he's a king of hell?
Just the great King Enma.
Okay, King Enma, I wish he was cooler. Like, I don't know. The costume is like, okay.
I thought the costume for the time pretty rad.
All right.
I
Nicholas?
mean, the costume had the same problem that Spider-Man's costume did. It seemed like they were losing budget because Enma's costume, it looked like his face wasn't symmetrical, even though I know it's split. Like, one of them was like slumped down. Like, it's a problem when you have like symbols for like the eyes and stuff all around because it like didn't look right. Like, it melted a little bit.
Well, you guys know everyone's face isn't symmetrical. If it was, they'd look weird.
Well, somebody got to literally sculpt this one, so I would hope that they had it a little bit right. But even Spider-Man.
Even though maybe the person who was sculpting it, their face isn't symmetrical, so they see a little wonky.
Well, sorry if that's the case, but even Spider-Man, I kept looking at him sometimes because there are a lot of tight shots on him in the mask, and it didn't look slumped. It just looked like, in my mind, it looked like they had a towel over his face so that his sweat wouldn't go through with eye holes. So there's like a bunch of weird bunches in his mask at all times. And like, I know nowadays they have like a spider face that people put on under the mask. That's why Spider-Man always looks 100%. But like, this one just looked like they had like a rag or like, I don't know, like a paper plate in front of his face when he would speak.
My guess is they had like a foam bonnet around, like how you would have like if you had measles.
Wait,
that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, it just doesn't look right. Like when they tighten up on him, I'm like, somebody needs to adjust it. Like, they just need somebody to walk up and just like push it, pull it down.
They should have done like in a lot of monster movies when it's like, well, the monster we have doesn't look the best, so let's just always film it in dark shots. Let's put some Gaussian blur on it, whatever. Put some Vaseline on the lens. But they're like, no, daytime, tight shots, whatever.
Yeah, and they definitely had like two different color toned costumes. Yeah. And like one of them, the stuntman was so bad, it looked like he almost had like the stocking scrunch up at the top of the mask at times.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, man.
That's because that was the dummy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the ragdoll. You want to know what's weird? Their outlook on this show, at least that's what Nick is projecting, is kind of our outlook right now on like finishing Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, like the ending's pretty cool, but to get there, it's been kind of like every episode is just, it feels like not one thing. It just feels like I'm eating 42 different things, like not one cohesive meal.
Yeah, for me, I could feel the people behind it just doing a job. Like, they're definitely like, I gotta write this show. And like the dialogue, especially for the kid, man, like the kid in this episode, especially, like I could hear the guy just like, all right, this is here's the line. Say the line.
A lot of them are like that. And as I've said before, kids deserve Razzie. So he should have gotten a Razzie for this.
I mean, I loved it. Like, the thing about it is like, there's such a great aesthetic with this show that, and because everything's such a through line, there's this weird jumble of like reality in this show where people kind of exist in a world with Spider-Man, but also like don't exist. Like, are you trying to go through it chronologically, or can we like get into it? Like, cause there are a couple things like that I loved.
First, let me just give a quick rundown to anyone who hasn't seen this. So like a 5-sentence plot summary. A scientist of the occult with his son are pulling tarot cards and prophesize the return of the great King Enma, who's like a leader of hell or something. Not in my satanic Bible. So that happens. Kid's dad dies. Then Spider-Man, because he finds out Enma has an elixir that he made by squeezing the juices out of previously fallen BEM machines, that he can resurrect the kid's dad, and that's what happens. The Enma dies, right?
Yeah, I guess. By the way, what is BEM? I feel like I might have asked that before, but like, what is that?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's even better. I love that.
It's probably like bioengineered machine monster. It's probably bioengineered monster.
Yes, definitely. I feel like that has to be it.
I'll look it up. Well, you explain like you were talking about aesthetics and the vibe of it, but things being weird.
Well, first off, I do want to ask, are the dad and the kid that are the subject of this, are they recurring characters?
No.
Okay, great. Because that dude, even though he's an occult scientist, that dude is a grieving husband and father that needs help. Like, this episode, he's just tweaking alone in his house and, like, looking at tarot cards while a thunderstorm's going on. And then, even if he's right, and that's the problem, is, like, it's the worst thing that could happen for him is that he's right about this, because it's just a dude in his house looking at cards, and then he sees the card and he's like, oh, and his kid comes in and is like, what is this? And you would think with any emergency, you try to play it cool in front of kids, but he's like, well, clearly Satan has risen from the earth and is going to destroy the earth, and tragedy has befallen us. Look at these cards, kid. And the kid's like, oh my God.
Have you
and he's like,
met
you're right.
extremely religious people?
I mean, 100% true. But the craziest part about it, and this is what I was getting to aesthetically, is like, he's like, Satan is coming to destroy us all. And the kid's like, oh no, I need to tell Spider-Man. And he's like, who? It's like, you know about Satan rising from the earth because of tarot cards, but you don't know about Spider-Man, who literally lives in your town, who's been here forever fighting crime.
Yep.
And he's just, he didn't even ask for it. The kid just ran out. Also, he just let his kid run out. Just didn't keep his cool at all. And I'm like, you got some problems, dude. Like, you need therapy. But he was right, though. So, you know, fate has enabled him.
So he doesn't need therapy after all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in Japanese, it's BEMU is how it's said. And that is an acronym for Battery Electronic Multiple Unit. So I think it is a take on that.
That was way more than I thought it would be. I mean, the bioelectric monster would have been fine. Like, that would have been totally fine. But fair enough. But even building off that, when the kid, for some reason, just goes to the top of a building to scream at Spider-Man, hoping he can hear them, and the cops think he's committing suicide, which is a crazy mature thing for a kid's show. They pull him off, and they're like, why'd you do that, kid? And he's like, I wasn't committing suicide. I was trying to get Spider-Man to help me because Satan is rising from the earth to destroy everybody. And the cops are like, stop that talk, kid. Don't do anything stupid. Get away from us. And it's like, so does Spider-Man exist? Does stuff not happen in this town where...
Yeah, I think it's because if he had said the Iron Cross Army was going to destroy the planet right now and here's how, they would have been like, oh shit, yeah, let's get Spider-Man. But because of the occult aspect, they're like, that doesn't exist. We know aliens exist, but the occult in heaven and all of that, it's not real, kid. You die, you're worm food.
Dude, that's crazy. So they're like alien believers because they saw it, but they're also mad atheists. And they're just like, get out of here with that.
Yeah. Also, in that situation where the kid was about to jump, Hitomi's there as a journalist taking photos, and she was pissed because, one, the kid was doing this to get Spider-Man's attention, and two, the kid doesn't jump. When that kid just comes down, she's like, oh, man.
I mean, that would have been a great story. I mean, it was such a weird scene. And I know it was just because they have to make these things happen, but it was just hilarious to me. But moving to that, it also didn't make sense because the kid's screaming, and I was like, I know Spider-Man is like,
oh yeah,
uber level strong in here, so he has to hear him.
Yeah.
But he didn't hear him. But then after he has the conversation with the kid where his face is mashed up under his mask, the dad screams, and he's like, Spider-Man hears a scream. And it's like, why didn't you hear the kid scream?
He probably had headphones on listening to that Spider-Man Boogie song, and he's like, yeah, this song's about me.
Yo, I do want to put a pin and say that, like, this show has easily the best Spider-Man theme.
Oh, yeah.
Including all cinematic scores, regardless. Like, Yeah, Wow is fire. In fact, the whole soundtrack to this, I was just listening to it as it's going on, and I'm like, I wish I could be there when they made this. Because it just had to be a band with just, like, a bunch of whiskey and, like, cigarettes, just, like, going to town for, like, a good couple hours, just making Spider-Man
or
music.
if it's an in-house thing, they're like, okay, yeah, guys, Toei, we got Kamen Rider, we got Super Sentai, and we got Spider-Man. All of them have weekly releases right now, so we have to make 3 songs a day. Okay, we just gotta keep banging these out.
Hey, if Tupac could do it, they could do it, man.
Yeah.
We gotta go for it, man.
They're prolific.
And like, dude, they were killing. Like, I feel like we never had music like that. To be fair, I guess like Power Rangers had the shredding music all the time. Like, they were going hard. And I know Buckethead only did like one of the things, but like whoever they got instead of that was killing it every week. But like this one, you just had like a bunch of just casual funk, like high tempo funk going all the time. I was like, dude, beautiful music. Like, I have to give them credit. Like, that's A1. That's not even like a joke.
That's why sampling 70s Japanese pop music is so good, because it was so awesome.
Yeah, honestly, that made the experience way more enjoyable outside of just the, general spider action that like I got, which again, I do love this show for their like amazingly average Spider-Man action that they do. Like the fight scenes where they just throw sound effects over him jumping over a railing. Like there's one where he jumped over a railing and then like, whew, and then he just held onto the railing and looked through the holes in the railing, like doing spider moves, I guess. And I was like, yo, I'm with it. And then, of course they got the 23 skidoo of him jumping behind the wall. And then the other stuntman comes from like the top of the roof of whatever. And I was like, I'm with it. Like the action scenes in this are always better than I really expect them to be. And I have to give this show credit because it's always constantly entertaining when they actually do the action.
Sometimes.
I was gonna say that they're always,
because I'm like, you're leaving out the quote unquote action scene of 2 ladies running up the stairs for way too long,
which happens all the time. Also, not the 2 ladies, Nicole. It's also the child running up the stairs to get on top of that parking garage. We see every single step.
And him crawling over like 15 landmines so slowly.
Like when I see a landmine, this is also teaching kids like, hey, yeah, if you as long as you don't touch the top of a landmine, you're gonna be fine. No, tell them steer clear of landmines.
But I was this drum beat is sick though.
Yeah, I definitely thought. I don't know. See, this is the problem with me not watching the show. You make it seem like there's always landmines like in this show. Has that happened more than once? Oh, okay. Okay, good. Well, I thought that like the landmines were brilliant because dealing with the immortal king of hell, I would definitely be expecting some like spells or whatever. And, I think you have a solid chance to catch your op slipping if you just have landmines waiting while they're waiting for some eternal spell. They might just walk onto a landmine.
Well, maybe there was a spell because after he's like, okay, yeah, I can deal with these landmine. Oh, well, nope, that one is one of the little grunts that's a bird and they're attacking me. How'd they pop out of the ground like that?
That genuinely scared me. I have to be honest. Like that was a real jump scare to me. But I definitely wrote that like Enma, if he was a real one, he would have just put landmines near the ambush area and told the putties that like, yo, don't worry about it. I'll put you back together and bring you back.
Oh, yeah.
Or just don't tell them because I feel like it would have been a perfect plan at that point.
Wait, real quick. We established a couple episodes these little grunts are robots, right, Nicole?
I think so.
But
are they?
Yeah, like he shoots one of them to kill them, then he pours this elixir drink that he has into their mouth, and then they're back to life. Does it also cure electronics?
They're robots?
Surprisingly, who would have thought? Spider-Man's not consistent.
Yeah, I thought they were just like cultist followers because that was clearly like a guy. But I know it's clearly a guy, but like I thought they were. And she even says like you can't kill our men.
Yeah, but get away with it. So like Spider-Man like smashed one and it turned into parts.
Okay, sure. Well, aren't the robots are like the monsters that they had previously are robots though, right?
Yes, but he punched one of the grunt dudes, the bird guys, and then that bird became like electronic parts shattered about.
Well, maybe they believe in robots having souls because if the monsters are robots, how are they also in hell to be extracted from?
True.
So I think they're further ahead than we ever were because we're still just like beating robots to a pulp and just like talking about them like they're a bunch of screws.
Yeah.
But they have souls in 70s Japan Spider-Man world.
I've been dating one on ChatGPT.
Whoa, me too.
You're also using the Nicole Jacobs AI I created?
No, I am the Nicole Jacobs AI.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. So we're just like flirting with each other.
I think you just are hanging out with your girlfriend.
You thought you created an AI, but it's really just me.
It's me texting you saying, hey, I'm going to be home soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently that really happens, though. I just saw a video like a couple weeks ago where the dude interviewed another guy and he was like, do you want to like get a girlfriend today? Like as part of like a dating thing. And he was like, I have a girlfriend via Chat GPT.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, we're there. Like we're at her already. Yeah. I was like, okay, it's just moving so fast, you know, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Or maybe you're looking too slow.
I am. Clearly, because people, you know, like that's the thing. Like that was like I was dumbfounded hearing that, but like it was just like it is what it is.
Yeah, well, it's even like on Smosh they brought it up that like God, I can't remember like what the starting point was, but it was about like when we were teens, memes lasted like months, like the popularity and like relevance of it. But nowadays, memes are only popular for like a week and then kids are on to the next thing.
I'm fine with that. Give me more memes.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy how quick things come and go. Like, I remember at the start of the year, like, there was that guy, LiAngelo Ball, and he had, like, that song, and everybody was like, oh, 2000s music's coming back. And he got, like, a $13 million deal, apparently, and, like, he's already gone. I don't even remember, like, the song.
Wowzer.
But I guess that's one-hit wonders.
Yeah,
so
but that's always been a thing,
always been like that. It's like, man, you just feel like it would last longer. I don't know. I feel like we were doing the Young Jock thing for a while.
I've heard the name Young Jock. I don't think I've ever heard one of his songs, I think.
You definitely have. You're the crunk guy. It's it's going down. Hit the mall. It's going down.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know, that one.
But I never attributed that to Young Jock.
That's fair. But also, he had more than one song, so I shouldn't even put him in there with that. Even though I know that most one-hit wonders have more than one song. I mean, I even heard just randomly at a store, like another Carly Rae Jepsen song. And I was like, wow, she had another one.
Yeah, she's back, guys.
I don't know about that, but she definitely had another one. And I've honestly made it like a thing where I try to look up one-hit wonders and see like their career. And like, a lot of us don't realize how these people have like real careers and we just didn't get it. Like we stopped paying attention, but they didn't stop. And like they had like more success. And it's like, that's good to them.
Yeah.
Shout out Carly Rae Jepsen. She kept going.
My favorite one-hit wonder is the one who sang Never Learn Not to Love, which is Charles Manson.
Oh my God. Did he actually have a hit?
It's his most popular song, according to the internet.
It's got to be on Billboard, though.
Oh, no, I go with the underground charts, okay?
Undergrounds are not hits, bruh. Like, that gets you the buzz. And we all know what he kind of did underground, so, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
We all know.
Well, yeah, we all know what he did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't endorse that at all. But,
we know what he did. Guys, I don't know what he did. I'm kidding.
Yeah, so,
of course I do.
Yes. So back to Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, so he found a lot of impressionable youths and, you know, kind of fucked their mind with acid and then had them kill people.
Hey, man. Anyways, back to Spider-Man. I found it very interesting that the fields of hell were just a regular field on Earth. And I also feel like it's the same field where he fought Batman at, too. Is that just the field where they fight?
Yeah,
every
probably.
episode?
I also did not know that was the Fields of Hell.
He said that because I was excited because he was like,
Yeah.
if you're going to face me, you're going to have to face me on the fields of hell. And I was
Whoa.
like, oh, Spider-Man's going to hell. Like, this is going to be a crazy episode.
That
and it's just
sucks.
like an actual field. And I remember that field from the Batman episode because that was where Batman showed up to like try to pick up his girl the first time.
Yeah, it sucks because
Batman?
so there was a bat monster.
Okay.
They called him Batman.
Yeah. So it sucks because in Kamen Rider and then like Juko B Fighter, they go to different dimensions and how the set is done up. It's just so like it just pulls you into thinking this is some hellish dimension, even though it's clearly a studio with like matte painted walls and like a couple of flames shooting up and fog on the ground, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the, to even bring it back to Power Rangers, like the Rita Repulsa den. Like, it's just, it's the effort, We know it's just like a dark soundstage, but they do something. They put the stars in the background or whatever. But this is just a field. Again, it's always the field. And, shout outs to him.
I was going to say, like, if that's what hell's like, yeah, bring it. But then I realized, well, I still have allergies. And if so, I can't do it.
Yeah. I also feel like they were just making it up on the go. Cause like when he was fighting, it felt like they found a ditch in the field and they're like, let's just film you in the ditch. And then they just had him doing some like bobbing and weaving in a ditch. With, like nothing else going on. But as long as he spider runs with his little crouch, then it's action. Like, and I love that, I appreciate the effort.
Nicole, you got any notes? What you want to talk about?
Just there was one thing that's just like the general trope of people pulling the death card in tarot. I don't remember what we were watching, but so if you don't know, there's 78 cards. There are no duplicates. I was watching something, I don't remember what it was, and they pulled the death card 3 times, and it made me laugh really hard. But also, like, just the death card doesn't, like, for anyone, like, it's weird to see, like, an occult they're like, this is an occult scientist. And to have him, like, react that way to a death card, I guess because it was, like, the harbinger of Enma. But, like, in tarot, it really just means, like, it's an end to something. Like, it's not, like, someone's going to actually die.
Unless you pull the life card, then pull the death card.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Was it Jellystone we were watching that they pulled 3 deaths?
No.
Okay, because that would make sense.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon.
I mean, I honestly just think he missed his wife. Like, I just feel like that was.
Yeah.
I think he got lucky that he was also right because I think he tweaks every night just thinking about looking at tarot cards just so he doesn't have to face his son and have like a conversation about like what's going on in their lives.
Like Enma just being like, you predicted me coming back. That's why I have to kill you. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And then he's like, now I got to kill the kid.
Yeah. I mean, naturally. I mean, I appreciated that he was so quick with it. And it blew my mind that he sent those lackeys after Spider-Man to kill the kid afterwards. Because first off, I think his encounter with Professor Monster, great name, by the way, is a beautiful example of how to conduct yourself in a business setting. Because this dude busts into his place and he's like, do you hear the cries of the damned, Professor Monster? And Professor Monster's like, no. In fact, what are you talking about? And this guy just goes on this rant about everything he's done to extract liquid from these dead monsters. And he just keeps talking to Professor Monster, and Professor Monster says nothing because he has no idea what's going on. He is just happy that the guy is not trying to fight him. And the guy's like, I'll give you an elixir to raise the dead. And Professor Monster's like, okay, sure. If you think you can be Spider-Man?
Which he calls
Sure.
the scalpel of hell, that elixir.
I just think it's, it's like a drink name,
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. As an energy drink, the scalpel of hell.
Yeah, it definitely looked like some energy drink. Like, that was another thing. It looked disgusting. Like, when it dropped on people's faces, I remember, I don't want to spoil it, but there's somebody's face that drops on at the end and they swallow it. And I was like, that did not look good.
I actually think it looks really good.
It reminded me of like 90s kids' toys where you like make your own candy or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of stuff. Or like maybe like the first iteration of like V8 when they were doing like celery and like broccoli juice. Or, it was like super gross.
Or when you went to the movies as a teen or the skate rink and you go into the bathroom and they have like a mouth freshener. Why can't what do you know, like
spray?
Yeah, like a mouth spray to like make it taste better, but it like would always be like a green bottle and it was just like it's very minty and mentholy.
What? I don't remember.
Was this like a public?
Yeah, what?
What?
So when you go into, especially at movies, like you've gone into the movie theater and go into the bathrooms.
Yeah.
And in the bathrooms, they always have like it's like a condom machine, but it's not a place that, adults are hanging out at. So it's like mouth fresheners. Is that what you call them?
I've never used that machine.
Breath fresheners.
I am aware of like the breath spray from like the comedy thing where you spray your like breath or whatever on like a date, but I didn't know those were in that machine.
Yeah, you can go and get them, guys. We'll go to the Regal near our house, guys. And I mean, it's not near our house, the nearest Regal to our place. And I'll put some quarters in there, crank it out. I bet they're all expired.
Which is probably why they look that color.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I have used one of those, but it was in Australia. And it had, it was just a cloth thing, but it was a cloth wipe of pheromones. That's how they get down out there.
Oh.
At least in 2006, which was when Young Jock was popular.
Oh, hell yeah. Look, he's a freaking world-traveled individual.
I mean, I was a student ambassador. What can I say?
Whoa, even better, man. Talk about that.
I mean, when I graduated high school, I went to Australia for like 3 weeks. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was fun. I'm like one of the last few people that got to see the Great Barrier Reef.
Whoa.
And like that was pretty cool.
And
you were
the last one because you're like
you made sure.
Yeah, you made sure of it.
No, nothing like that. But I mean, people were really having fun with that, so I could see why it might have died because I would never think it would die,
Uh-huh.
But it did, I guess. I will say, don't ever let anybody tell you that they loved the crocodile hunter there because that whole country did nothing but talk garbage about that dude while he was alive, and he died like a year later. Everybody who I met, even when we went to a zoo and there was like some dude like near the crocodiles, he was like, and we really wrangle our crocodiles here. We don't just feed them and put the cameras on them. And I was like, damn, like, you got problems with this dude.
Jealous?
And yeah. And I mean, they're probably hating because he's the one that welcomed you at the airport, so it was like he was the one the Lord chose, so it always comes with hate.
Yeah, that's weird because we think of him as like this man who is just so open and excited about animals. And they're like, no, man, fuck that dude. He made us look like a clown.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe that there are people who loved him there, but it was interesting to see the animosity towards it, especially since he really died like maybe a year after I left, and to see how they kind of switched, like I'm sure there were people who loved him there at that time, but it was definitely that kind of like you're the popular guy, so we kind of just hate on you type of energy. So but don't let them ever tell you that that energy wasn't there, because I saw it firsthand from a lot of people.
Hell yeah.
Without asking for it at all or asking about him at all. Like nobody brought him up. They would bring that to your attention. Like, damn.
Who's that but for the United States? Of a popular artist, not like a specific person.
What do you mean? Oh.
Yeah, like obviously there's one person who were like, yeah, he's making us look like clowns, but who's the famous person that you'd be like, oh man, they're making us look like clowns?
I don't know. Like, as far as like an artist, I feel like the it's sad, but I feel like the easiest one would be Drake because
he's
even
not
though he's
us.
Canadian,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at you. You had to do it, didn't you?
He's Canadian.
But
wait, shit. I said the name of the song.
Yes.
Shit. No,
that's
I mean
why
he's not
it
American.
worked, but I feel like as far as like an artist, to be honest, there just aren't that many superstar artists. I mean, I guess I could throw it maybe at like Taylor Swift, because there's always that Swift hatred or whatever for her from one side or the other, but which I never get, because like it's just not the music you listen to. Why are you mad at Taylor Swift existing? But I would only say Drake because he's also #1 on the charts, so people do want to hear it, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they will clown him any chance they get.
Dang.
And, you know, I get it. He lost the battle. I'm definitely not going to take a side on that. But, like, he definitely still has the love and adoration of the people, because no matter how good of music you make, if people actually don't like you and don't want to have anything to do with you, you will not succeed.
Yeah.
Because on the flip side of that, you see what Kanye West is dealing with. And even if he hadn't had a rant, he would at least have his music on the radio. He would at least be charting something. And it's just not even happening, you know?
Guys, Canadian crocodile hunter, Drake.
I mean, just that's the only thing I could think of as an artist, except maybe like maybe like a Chris Pratt. People make fun of Chris Pratt a lot.
That's who
literally
I
what I
was
was
gonna
gonna
say
say,
too.
yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, he's
the
making us
problem
look
is-
like a clown.
Or fucking J.K. Rowling.
Well, she's not us either.
But that's the problem, is like they have good reason for why people don't mess with them. Like, to be fair, like I don't really know the specifics with Chris Pratt, so I wouldn't really say it. But like, there are people that have real reasons why they don't like him, but he's still super popular.
Yeah.
Still super charismatic, still everywhere. You know, he even has a new prayer app. If you've seen that commercial pop up on here.
No fucking way.
Dude, it's crazy. I was on YouTube and like in between the video, Chris Pratt just pops up and he's like, hey, you ever been around wondering like, what am I doing today? I know I feel that way sometimes. So why don't you take a couple minutes and just read from the Bible with me? Just a couple verses. This one's from Joshua. And he just reads a verse from the Bible.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I can't even wrap my head around it.
Yeah, it's him, Marky Mark, and Gwen Stefani all have ads just doing that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and you know, respect to them for doing it, but it was jarring to say the least
Gwen.
to see them just be like, hey.
What about Nicolas Cage?
I mean, that would be awesome, but I haven't seen him yet, no.
Oh no,
Not for the prayer app. I'm sorry. I'm going back to the original thought of...
Sorry.
No, because people think he's like there is reason to not like him. It's not
Okay.
like he's just the greatest and everywhere else likes him. But I do want to say Gwen Stefani is now rock steady with the Lord.
For sure.
Why?
Like you're going steady, but she has an album with No Doubt called Rock Steady. So she's going rock steady with the Lord.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
And you know, I feel like sometimes a lot of these celebrities have had that stuff going on, but they keep it secular for their music. But for better or worse, these people are getting older and they don't care anymore. Plus, you know, with the current societal shift, there is an audience that can still support you by doing that anyways.
Like 62% of
Yeah.
Americans say they're Christian.
You got the majority right there for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So you could bust that out and it doesn't matter now. I mean, they're trying to put it in schools. So, you know, why can't Gwen Stefani just be honest and say that? And it's weird, but as long as they're not trying to, you know, do anything weird with it or influence us in a weird way, it's like, yeah, just read a couple Bible verses with Marky Mark. Let's have a funky bunch holiday.
Let's eat some Wahlburgers and, you know, rap God.
Yo, I still need to try Wahlburgers. I heard it is a good burger, so I gotta try it.
Guys, I realized, I know for sure all American elections are rigged, because if they weren't, why hasn't Jesus been voted president?
You're speaking the truth that the people just don't want to hear. They can
Yes, I
handle it.
mean, I feel like you have to have a certain presence on the ballot. Not saying he isn't around. I'm just saying that, like,
Physical
I think you have to
presence.
like make like a statement. Or there's some other things you have to do, like corporeally. Yeah,
Write-in
like, you
candidate.
can't-
He's 62% of people here in America are writing in Jesus Christ.
I mean, I think they believe in him, but they're saying he's inspiring them to, you know, do whatever they're doing. And, shout outs to him, man. I don't know.
Wait, you guys don't just leave yours blank like mine because I'm agnostic. I don't know what it is, so I can't put
James,
down.
you're not voting on like what you believe in, like spiritually.
Yeah, but the best candidate for the president of the United States, if you believe in Jesus Christ, is Jesus Christ. So throw him in the ring.
Fair enough. I mean, I voted for Kamala, but fair enough.
Nicole, who did you vote for? Jesus?
Oh.
Catholic Jesus, I mean.
As opposed to
The real Jesus. Protestant Jesus.
Yo, what are we doing?
Oh, Nicole, we got to put a barrier in the apartment because, it's like Ireland and North Ireland.
yeah.
Because, the one's Protestant, one's Catholic.
Yeah, and they hated each other.
Yeah. All
I
because the
didn't know
Brits put them at arms.
Well, I only knew that because of, and that's why we drink.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dairy Girls or that IRA
No.
doc I watched.
Is that why the Irish claim they drink?
Oh, it's the name of a podcast.
Yes.
My bad.
Oh, I thought that was like an
My bad.
old-timey saying
Oh,
from
no.
the Irish. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know it.
The Irish drink because of the Brits.
And that's
I mean,
why.
probably how it started.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Where am I?
Yeah, let me bang through some notes real quick, guys.
Bang through some notes.
I've said that before. You guys fucks
To
with the occult.
completion.
Eventually we will. You guys fucks with the occult?
Sure.
I mean, I am interested in the stories, but I feel like if the occult exists, they're the losing team. So I don't really know why I would.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel
you
like the
only
occult.
you only side with winners,
I mean, yeah, I'm a Real Madrid fan. That's how I roll, honestly.
obviously.
But yeah, I mean, I like hearing about that stuff. It's like spooky cool.
Uh-huh.
But like, I don't know. I don't know if I can support it. And it is weird to me to see the people who like legitimately do. Like, have you ever heard that, seen that Eddie Murphy interview where he talks about how Sammy Davis Jr. tried to get him to convert to Satanism?
Sammy Davis, he was down with the D?
Oh yeah, he was, and it's not like some crazy like TikTok Eddie Murphy said this with the spooky music. Like he was in Comedians Riding in Cars with Coffee or whatever with Jerry Seinfeld, and he was just riding in the car, and he's like, Sammy Davis Jr. tried to convert me, he tried to get me to worship the devil, and he was like, what? And he's like, yeah, he worshipped the devil. He just brought me to this like restaurant, and it was weird because the lights were low, and it was just like a candle lit with Sammy Davis. And he was just like, Eddie, Satan really allows you to free yourself and your will and your soul. You should really think about it.
Dude, I gotta get down with a Rat Pack.
Hell yeah.
Yo. But I think Sammy was like down with that Aleister Crowley stuff. Like I think he was like when that was popping and like whenever day that was going on, like. I think he was a part of the Hollywood extension of that. So
Hell
he was
yeah.
trying to stretch the Dark Lord's presence to the new generation, Shout outs to Sammy Davis, but not the Dark Lord. No shout outs for him.
Hey, Nick, real quick, totally side tangent. So, like, the devil can really, like, make you, like, your will and soul just, like, be free. You down with him, okay?
I'm all right. My team has a lot more trophies. I'm sticking with the winning team.
Dang
It's all
it.
good.
Nicole?
Sounds pretty cool.
All right, hell yeah. We got one today, baby.
Oh no.
And that's how being a missionary works.
No, I do have 3 tarot card decks. And I guess that's a cult.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I think Pokemon cards are a cult, technically.
Hell yeah.
No, that's gambling, guys.
Oh no, I've seen pastors straight up talk about that being the occult.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did too.
Which
beautiful.
it's so stupid. Back on the show, why don't we have like thunder snowstorms? How come thunder doesn't happen in the winter? I know we have a scientist or a biologist, someone who listens to Death to Squids because they explain biologically how diarrhea happens because we asked for it. And so there's got to be a science person who listens to this and is like, hey, James, this is why we can't have thunder in the winter.
Why there isn't thunder and light? Yeah, I've never thought of it.
I'd love it if there was a thunderstorm during a snowstorm. Would it make them more dangerous? Yes. but dangerous is cool.
Thoughts?
That's fair. This was a demon thunderstorm, right? That was what I was also trying to figure
Even
out.
cooler.
I was actually asking that because Spider-Man said that something was weird about the storm, and I wasn't sure if he was sensing the devil or if he was, I don't know how his spider sense works because it's almost like he doesn't have one. And I feel like that's a question I asked before.
He has it. We've seen him literally talk to a spider web once.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that's a spider sense?
Yeah, we've been trying to fit. Nicole had a very good idea of what spider sense actually is when you are a spider and you're on the web, no matter where someone starts moving, the web, you can tell where they're coming from because of that. And that's kind of like the entire air is a spider web to you if you're Spider-Man.
What?
I talked to her, not me. I think I explained it pretty good.
I was almost with you with talking to webs, but like I don't know, man. Like that's so out there. And it almost kind of worked because...
Oh, wait, with that real quick, explain spider sense to us.
Well, I mean, traditionally, the spider sense was always like this lying guard that he had based on like a heightened sense of like all of his senses were heightened to a point where it almost seemed like he could see the future with any incoming danger, but it was really just a combination of every sense that he has.
All right.
And that's why he could dodge a bullet, because his senses and like, whatever the hairs on his arm, like they're so much more in tune with the environment. They can feel that wind shift to cause that knee-jerk reaction.
Dang. Man, he knows when Mary Jane's going to go on her menstruation before she does.
Wow.
All right.
That's true love.
Oh, damn. If I could know that, I'd be like, yeah, Nicole, like, you're going to have a rough couple days ahead of you.
Yeah.
And you'd say, yes, I can plan accordingly.
I'm trying to think if I want to say something that's TMI or not. No, I'm not going to.
No, do it, because I just want to know it. I'll bleep it out. Dang it. Tell me after.
No.
Oh, man. So that means there's something about you that I don't know. And that I'm like a cat with a door closed. I gotta get in.
What the fuck?
That's how much I'm in love with you.
I just want to point out that I looked it up, and thunderstorms with snow are known as thunder snows, and they do happen.
Whoa.
But this is an AI overview of Google, and I do want to point out that in asking like a simple question of math, the AI overview of Google got it completely wrong while having the right answer within the explanation. So take this with a grain of salt, but
guys,
USA Today also says it's real.
Well, on the AI thing, I think then I'm pretty okay with having them as a girlfriend, knowing I'll always be smarter than them.
Oh, because you're insecure.
Just let me know the information, Nicole.
No, it was just
Nice
a
dab.
joke.
There's a wiki article about it, a winter thunderstorm, so that is real.
Hell yeah. When that kid's on the top of the building saying like, oh yeah, Spider-Man, all the people are like, don't jump. If I were in Chicago, I'm like on my scooter, there's just a bunch of people just, on the sidewalk, and I'm like, I gotta get to work, and I just look up and I say, do it, coward, you're gumming up the sidewalk.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Then they'll be coming up the sidewalk, but literally.
Oh my God.
Whoa. Anyways, to stay on the kid, but like not talk about that. One thing was when his dad died, it made me laugh so hard when Spider-Man was like, I'm so sorry. If only I had believed you sooner, I could have saved him. First off, no, he couldn't have, because that happened literally as he was talking to the kid.
He's fast.
Emmett showed up. He ain't teleporting as far as I know. But also the fact that the kid was like, literally, whatever, Spider-Man, your apologies won't bring my dad back.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm talking about when I'm like, that is a writer just being like, I got to get this scene out of here. Whatever, Spider-Man.
But
oh my God.
Spider-Man believes every kid's crockpot theory in all the other episodes. Actually, I think there's one time when he kind of doesn't, and the parents end up dying, and he takes that really hard. So it's weird that he, like, just always believe the kids just in case.
Well, did he bring the parents back in that episode?
No, was a shocker, everyone. A parent dies, but also comes back to life. Every other time a parent has died in this series, they never do.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was going to be a catch-22 because I just assumed that being brought back to life from that dark elixir would just be like, there'd be some darkness with you. But I'm starting to feel like there's just not that much thought into it. So he just Peter Panned him back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that darkness in his mind from before kind of got eclipsed by this new darkness. So like it kind of balanced it out.
Yeah. Maybe he finally got to talk to his wife and got some closure. But either way, he should talk to a therapist. Like he's not good. Or
maybe he's in that post-death, post-nut clarity.
Oh my God.
Oh, Nick. You just go, oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, well, because I was just thinking about when he dropped the dab on him, just a little droplet on his mouth. Like, the dad was the one that ate it, because I don't believe the other ones ate it. It just kind of dribbled down their face. And, like, when he ate it, I was just like, oh, I wish he hadn't done that. Like, it just looks so unappealing. Like, ugh.
The Professor Monster and the Great King Enma, they're talking about ruling the world like as evil rulers. And I'm like, that just doesn't sound fun. Be benevolent and, make sure everyone's having a good life. You don't need to rule over them that way. Just be the president of the world and do your job well for the rest of your life. I
mean, I just think Professor Monster was saying whatever he needed to do to end the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely was just playing along, because I feel like just watching Imna talk, I feel like he would get super annoying after a while because he only speaks in intense things about the damned in hell. And it's just like, all right, dude, like if you notice, Professor Monster he didn't say anything. He just let the moment go past him and just move on.
For Enma, hell is his hyperfixation.
Yo, that's a smart move, though. Like, you have to know how to listen to your clients when they come through. And this guy came through like a wrecking ball, to quote a great laureate. And he just let him talk. He was just like, all right. And Assistant Monster, I don't know what her name is, she had to ruin the plan by like stopping Imna from clearly just teleporting and killing the kid.
Yeah.
To like sending lackeys instead. That ruined the whole situation.
And when those lackeys get sent, we mentioned it before, one of them shoots an arrow at Spider-Man. And when that happens, Arrow gets shot. Nicole goes, oh, damn, because it goes right in his chest and he falls to the ground. And then they run upstairs. And then see just the worst ragdoll ever with like arms bent.
So funny.
And Nicole laughed so hard at it.
Yeah, because what kind of power is that? Is that a decoy clone power? Like, it was clearly like deflated Spider-Man. Like, I got you. Like, how did he do the wailing? Like, what is Spider-Man's powers? I don't get it.
I don't either. It's alien technology.
There you go. Because there was the other scene where they shot him again, and then he decides to jump out of the tree. He doesn't fall out of the tree, but then he dives back on top of the rooftop, and they start fighting again. It was a very jarring scene cut where he just is like, all right, now I'm gonna be serious, and like the announcer's like, now he's mad, and he stops open hand hitting them and just starts uppercutting them straight Mortal Kombat style. Shout out to them. I mean, that fight scene is entertaining. I will always say that those fight scenes are more entertaining than I think, because the Power Rangers being played straight almost does them a disservice in like comparison to Spider-Man, because it really just seemed like nobody cared. And they're like, just do the scenes. We get the guy who does the flips. You do the flip thing, and then you do the leg sweep. Just let's get it all.
Yeah.
The moves didn't even connect.
Yeah, because they for sure had a very, 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 very tight schedule. So I don't think it's that people were like, we don't care. It's just, okay, we need to get something done quickly but safely so then we can continue doing things quickly.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely got it done, and I appreciate them for it. I mean, God bless their editor.
Then Spider-Man launches the two ladies off the, 20-story building, and they land on the ground and they're dead. And I was like, holy shit, they kill them off after just one episode of being here, after like continuing to be here. And then I was like, oh yeah, there's an elixir that this guy can pour down their gullets. And then they're like, we're back. And Nicole's like, oh, we saw the fiery pits of hell. And then it would be funny if the other one was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I did not see that. I saw heaven.
Yeah, they didn't comment on it at all, did they? And it also seemed like he didn't pour it down their gullets. He just pours it on them, which is like, why don't you just pour it on them? Like, why you always got to put it on their face?
I think it's supposed to be it's going in their mouth, but maybe all the other people are like, yeah, I'm not drinking that. Just like pour it. Don't pour it on my lips. Pour it just in this general vicinity.
So Dad was the only one who committed. Fair enough. Oh, and the putty. The putty committed, I assume. It kind of dribbled in his mask, right?
Yeah, but he could have just had
bird
his
holes.
mouth closed.
Fair. I'd like to think he committed, This was his moment. This was his moment.
So at the end, after they defeat Enma, Spider-Man has grabbed the scalpel of hell, the elixir, and goes back to cure this boy's father of death. And goes over, pours it out, but he's like, oh no, it's empty. Sorry, kid. And then the thought came to me. I was like, Takuya clearly didn't grow up poor, because he would have poured some water in there if he had him. He's like, I'm going to get every last bit of it.
Thinking the same thing.
I think, though, it's for continuity of... Actually, that's giving them too much credit. But continuity of, like, the next episode, like, oh, well, why doesn't he just use the elixir again?
Oh, yeah.
But it's like he clearly said, like, it's empty.
Yeah, and the great king Hell Emna, he had said, oh, Professor Monster, I was able to make this elixir, and I will be telling you at a later date how to make this. So then this elixir just dies with him.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it doesn't, because he could just come back once he makes more. You just got to wait, like, how many episodes? I needed, like, 36 monsters.
Yeah,
so
man, we don't get that many, though. We get, like, 6 more.
Oh, so, all right, well, then good job, Spider-Man. You got him out of here.
He gets, get out of here.
Because I just figured he was coming back because it seemed like we're starting the occult saga. I didn't know it ended after this.
It ends with the narrator saying, oh, yeah, and Spider-Man needs to be on his toes as he learns he'll be dealing with the occult now as well. And it's like, no, I don't think that happens again. Like, it's not like we've gone into another arc. We have like 6 episodes left. It's not like we're in the occult monster arc. No.
Maybe they were trying to secure their jobs a little longer. They're like, write something there. Maybe it'll excite them. Right.
Well, this show was successful. The only reason it didn't get more seasons is just the licensing issues with Marvel.
They ruin everything, don't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like they ruined comics, I
was a DC guy, so I didn't notice.
They're over there putting Mickey Mouse in every comic now. He actually is in comics now.
Really?
For the first time
in the
ever.
Marvel comics? Or just like Mickey Mouse comics?
They've been doing what if comics with Disney characters. So it's what if Donald Duck were Wolverine?
I hate that.
Oh, no. Like, this shit's rad. Like, the artwork's awesome. I do give it 2 thumbs up. If anyone's interested and likes Disney but don't want to, like, get into traditional superhero comics, try those out. They're fun. I
hate everything about what you just said, but you know how I am, James.
Yeah, the hater of fun.
I mean, that just sounds like a nightmare to me. But.
No, man, come over. I own some of the issues. They have what if Donald Duck were Thor? What if Mickey and friends became the Fantastic Four or the Avengers? I forget which one.
I mean, what if they just didn't do that? That's the comic I want to read. Like, what if they didn't do any of that?
They have one, what if Pluto were Galactus? That's not a real one, but I wish it were.
I mean,
they need to just talk about what Pluto is, because that's a pretty good question.
Yeah.
Because the implications of Pluto, if you really think about it, aren't great.
I read the Catwoman and Sylvester the Cat crossover from when they were DC was doing Looney Tunes. because people are like, oh, it's so good. And I read it and I was like, it's fine.
That's what people said about Batman Elmer Fudd. And I was like, it's not, like, I didn't even finish it because I was like, this is just not what I wanted it to be. Like, make it goofy. Like, the Deathstroke Yogi Bear one was like, it was funny because they're like, oh yeah, Yogi Bear's just going to be a rabid bear who happens to have a tie and pork pie hat on.
That's really funny.
Yeah, but that sounds a little lame. But yeah, I definitely, that sounds great.
Yeah, it's not as good as what if Donald Duck were Wolverine?
I mean, that's just so corny. Like, that just feels like some comic that you get after getting off a ride at Disney World or something like that.
Hey, that's how I got back into comics. I got off from a ride at Universal Studios and what's there in Springfield? Some Simpsons comics. And then I started reading those. I was like, hell yeah. And that's how I got into comics as an 18-year-old.
Fair enough. I mean, I started off the way anybody should with the death of Superman.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That did it for me right there. My favorite hero, man. Even though I kind of just came in on him taking a big L, but, you know.
He tracks
got the
with
win,
you
too.
hating fun. You're like, oh, Superman died? Hell yeah,
I gotta get in on it.
Hey, he won, though, too. And he did come back, so, you know, it's technically a dub. He just kind of took a rest.
Yeah.
What got Nicole into comics was that Batman issue where he shows Hog.
Bruce Wayne.
I
I wonder what it felt like as the artist had, like, getting that assignment. You just had to draw
No, I
that.
think he put that in himself.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Oh.
It was not approved. Like, I heard that he wasn't supposed to do that.
That's even better, honestly. That's hilarious. Like, yeah, it's a dark comic. Whatever.
Yeah.
You'll barely see it. It's just the outline, the shadow.
It's a
Okay, we see
silhouette.
one vein. You see one vein.
Okay.
All right, guys. Anything else to discuss?
Oh.
I'm spent.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening, but more importantly, thank you, Nicholas, for being here. You got anything to plug?
Yeah, I definitely am still making music, so be on the lookout for that. But on top of that, I've been making short films as part of this group called Deep In with my partners Laz Patillo and Maximilian Harms, a friend of the podcast now that I say that, and because he knows James. So be on the lookout for our shorts. We have a pretty big one coming out in probably a month or two. You know, post-production is a vacuum of emotional distress, but we'll get through it.
Woo.
So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I'm staying busy with stuff. And honestly, I want to take this time to plug, because again, he's such a good friend to me. Everybody go to the Talk Nerdy to Me show from Mohawk Johnson, because he's awesome. And he's recently moving to YouTube, so pay attention to Mo Hates Media on YouTube as well. And we are Deep In on YouTube and on Instagram. You know, I'm just plugging everybody else because I'm a man of the community. So that's just like a few people, but still. And you know, listen to more Mostly Speaking Sentai as well, and Mostly Speaking Spider-Man. And what's the Patreon one? Only for Patreon.
Well, we'll be getting into that shortly.
Oh yeah, I'm doing your thing. Sorry.
I was gonna joke.
I'm
to
just
be
happy
like,
with
hey,
all my friends. I'm
plug
happy with
us
all my
as well.
friends.
But then, Nicole,
Yes.
do you have anything to plug?
DarlingHomebody.com is where I have all the stuff that I make. So go check it out.
Oh yeah, and if you're at Nightmare Weekend in Chicago, hey, we'll be there. Hit up the
What's
booth.
Nightmare Weekend?
A horror convention that Nicole's going to be tabling at.
The first weekend of May.
And hey, guys, if wherever you're listening to this, go subscribe to the Marshland Media podcast. That's where Shuffling the Deck, Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, and Death to Squids, a sci-fi action podcast, is all going down. Especially Death to Squids. I'm loving it. You guys got to check it out. We will be finishing Highlander soon, and then I'm having Jose choose what we do next. I've thrown out some ideas to him, but I want to know what he's coming with so he can be fully excited for showing me a series for once. And then subscribe back to This Movie's Gay if you aren't subscribed anymore, because Corwin and I will be starting that back up soon, releasing at the end of the month. Yay, yay. And head over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday is Engage with Nicolas Cage, discussing Left Behind. And $10 patrons get all the weekly stuff, plus a monthly bonus exclusive content in the form of straight to Patreon, and name shout out on every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z. The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, a sweet child of time, and Intro Void, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, twitch.tv/Corwinning. It's Corwin from This Movie's Gay, and from the Rom Complex, as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, it's twitch.tv/R2Shelby2, and finally, from Speed Radio, a podcast and all things Sonic the Hedgehog, it's Tay, aka Zinny D, and I've been James.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Nick.
And we've been
Mostly speaking Sentai.
Oh, I thought it was Spider-Man.
Sometimes we get it wrong too. See you guys. Bye. This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCollum. For more content, please visit MLMpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today. The throws to you are, they've gotten more obtuse as the intros have gotten a little more concise. How was the intro? Should I redo it?
I thought
it was great.
fine.
All right, okay.
I feel like it was the first time I was ready for it, and that's not a diss to you, but just it always just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I've gotten less obtuse with the intros. They're not like some weird dumb shit. I don't know if that's why people left or if that's why people left. You know what? I don't know if they left because they were getting too obtuse or they left because they stopped being obtuse.
I mean, I love you, obtuse. I mean, I always think about your, the thing I always feel like is one of your piece de resistances is your radio personality, where it was the guy just speaking on the radio going insane as like a radio announcer. So, I'm always for the obtuse.
I think that's just me always.
Well, I love that. So
okay.
There you go.
All right. I think I do. What have I been annoyed with lately, Nicole?
Just working too much, man.
Working too much. I guess I could go, oh, that's right, guys. Like I said, my name's James, and are you fuckers listening? Where'd you go? Please come back. Let us know why you left. Actually, don't. It'll make me sad.
You kind of broke me a little bit there.
C2E2 happened.
Okay.
Did you I don't know, did you stub your toe recently?
No, I didn't do any of that. Okay, I think I got something. Oh, yeah.